Hey guys, what's going on? Beck Scarlet here, and welcome back to the Scarlet's Den. Today's top 10 list is going to be for my favorite anime of all time, Kengen Ashura and Kengen Omega. Let's begin. Number 10. Number 10, I gotta go with the character name Kiba or Chiba, depending how you call him. Now, if you ever watch the anime or read the manga, he's not a top tier fighter at all. The reason why I like him and why I'm so drawn to this character is that he's actually an actor in the show. So in the series or in the manga, you find out that he's an underground fighter, kind of like an assassin, but his gimmick is that he's called an actor assassin, where he can look at somebody and study their moves, and then he can mimic them according to how he sees it. Now, he's not as going to be as strong if he sees like a copy, like a big guy or a short guy or anything like that. But overall, I just think it's a cool gimmick. I mean, he's an actor, and I'm an actor, so that's what really drew me to him. Number 9 is an anime, or I'm sorry, it's a manga exclusive. I gotta go with, I can't pronounce it correctly. It's Hong Ji Ha, and in the manga, he actually looks kind of like a knockoff of Bruce Lee with the black uh, pants, the black shoes, and the long hair, kind of like Bruce Lee style, that bow haircut. And what's cool about him is that he's called like the White Tiger of something, and he's actually one of the only fighters that actually was able to not get killed and was close to defeating the Fanga Matsudo, which in the first Kengan Ashura series was actually the top, if not one of the top fighters in the whole series. So I always thought that was kind of cool to have like another character that I always like martial arts stuff like that. Again, it looks like Bruce Lee, and I really like Bruce Lee. Number 8, I gotta go with Saul Pang. Saul Pang is actually a fighter from Burmese. He does Burmese boxing, which is a form of Muay Thai, which is also one of my favorite martial arts. And he's called the Howling Fighter because he yells every time he fights. What's cool about it or makes him unique is that his head is actually stronger than the most people, so his special attack or secret move is actually almost like a kamikaze headbutt that he uses. He doesn't go very far in the series, but again, he's a Muay Thai-ish kind of fighter, and I like a lot of guys that who can be aggressive. Number 7, I gotta go with Agito Kano. Akito Kano is the one I mentioned from before, who's called the Fanga Matsudo, which is at the time of the first Kengan Ashura, he's the bodyguard or the representative fighter of the owner of all Kengan, the Kengan Association. It's a long story. You'd have to read the manga and watch the series to understand. But what's cool about him is that he's undefeated. He never lost a fight at all. And he's actually kind of like Kibo. He's able to adapt, but instead of mimicking yours, he actually adapts it and forms his own variation. So he ends up doing like wrestling or grappling. It looks like the same grappling you do, but he has his own little flair. They call it the formless style. And he's really strong, and he's one of the characters that, you can't really sleep on it. He actually gets better as Kengan Omega comes on. So that's why he's up there. So number 6, I gotta go with Kirei Ryan. Now, Kirei Ryan is actually a really funny pick because in Kengan Ashura, he's a really bad person. He literally beats someone up in the bathroom till they're bloody and bleeding. He almost kills his opponent, Miko Robinson, or Mito Robinson, whatever his name is, by literally choking him and breaking his neck. Luckily, he lives. But his style is kind of weird. He doesn't do martial arts per se. They call it the Kure technique, which is, I guess, an assassin group that the way they work is that they keep having offsprings and inbreeding technically, which is a little weird, but they do that to make the strongest warrior, by reproducing all the time. And supposedly he's called the devil or the demon child because he's the highest potential out of all the Kure that's ever been around. Plus, like Oma, he can enter a form called removal, I think it is. It's in the anime, his skin turns purple and he gets like stronger, faster, and he's able to take more damage, which is pretty cool. After Ashura, when he changes his mood and his tone, he actually becomes friends with Oma, and they become like training partners and stuff like that, which is kind of cool to see he's had a redemption. So number 5, I gotta go with Carlos. Now Carlos is actually in Kengan Omega, and he's known for being a boxer, which he actually goes up against my favorite character on this list. What's cool about Carlos is that he was a boxer that fought and won and was champion in 5 different weight classes. He was like heavyweight, middleweight, strawweight, and the thing is, he kept going down, up and down, and the reason why he kept changing weight was because he was bored. He just couldn't find an equal in his matchups anytime he fought. But I guess as he got older, his body actually got some kind of deformity, not bad, but the point that like he's really small and skinny, still muscular, but he has the same strength as a heavyweight boxer, even though he's in a small frame. And he puts up a really good fight against my number 1 pick, which, spoiler, I can't say it yet. So number 4, I gotta go with Oma Tokita. So Oma Tokita, I really like. He's the main character of Kengan Ashura. He's technically not the main character in Omega. It's 2 other characters, but he comes back and he technically takes over the spotlight. I mean, he was the main character, and people were sad that he passed away in the first one he came back. Spoiler alert if you haven't read the manga or seen the show. Um, I guess it's the manga. And it's cool. He has a generic main character syndrome martial arts style. It's called the Nico style, which is a form of like defense. It's striking, grappling, and then he has a special move called like the Demon's Bane, where he can counter and throw your power back. You also have it's called it's not called removal. He calls it limited, something like limiter, something where like he's able to push his heart to pump 3 to 4 times faster than everyone else, and he's able to increase his speed and his attack speed and accuracy, which I think is pretty cool. But he's the main character, so of course he has to be up there. Number 3. So I actually had to swap with my 3 and 4. So number 3, I had to go with Lo Long, which is actually spelled differently because he's from the Philippines. But what's cool about Lo Long is that he's from a group of fighters called the Purgatory, which is where Carlos is from, and Oma and my number 1 choice, along with Agito and other people, fought in the tournament. And it's pretty cool. He did a martial arts style called Salat. I think Salat. It's a Philippine like martial arts style where they usually use like a knife in the fist or like a stick in a knife. But it's cool is that he's known for having precognition a little bit, which is able to, go see into the future and be able to calculate and to dodge and maybe counter your attacks. I just thought it was cool. I like martial arts that do different things, and I always like, fast kicking and punching, striking, stuff like that, which is why I like it. Number 2, he actually used to be my number 1, believe it or not, for a long time until I realized what my real number 1 is. So number 2, I have to go with Himuro Ryu. So the reason why I like Himuro is that he does one of my favorite martial arts, which is Jeet Kune Do. Jeet Kune Do is a martial arts invented by Bruce Lee, which doesn't have a form. He uses it as a Kempo, as like a base, and you kind of just do like a free form thing. They call it like dirty boxing, do low below stuff like that. What's cool about it though is that he's just a cool character, suave. He's a ladies' man. I can relate. Well, I used to relate. Now I can't. But I just thought he was a cool character. He had the silver hair. He had the cool fast punches, elbows, and knees and stuff. But unfortunately, as the series goes on, he kind of becomes like a background character as far as like fighting. But overall, I thought he was pretty cool. And again, just to see him in a couple episodes, he just got me really pumped up, and that just really got me hooked on the show. But now my number 1, I gotta go with Gaolang or Gaolang Watsawang. So what's cool about him is that he's actually called the Thai God of War because his main martial arts is Muay Thai. But what's cool and a little fun fact is that he actually does bare knuckle boxing for most of the time because he was so good at Muay Thai he couldn't find his equal, which is why when he goes later on in the series to fight Carlos, they're very evenly matched because they both weren't able to find a fair fight or anybody that can challenge them when they fought in their boxing or Muay Thai careers. Unfortunately, he loses to Agito in the round 2 of the Kengen series, which, spoilers again, if you'd ever seen it or read it, but he actually was one of the closest people to actually defeat Agito because he was able to mix, which again is one of my favorites, martial arts, actually 2 of them. He was able to mix Muay Thai and boxing together to become known as one of the best strikers in the series. And then as the series progresses, he gets even better. He starts getting, he also learns precognition as well. He learns another ability too. He's able to counter precognition, which is kind of cool. So in other words, he's able to strike and land blows before you even can think about what he does, which I think is really awesome. And at the very end, even though he had a rematch with Agito Kano and he lost, it actually was pretty cool because they said he went around the world and he started learning other striking. So he did karate, boxing, Muay Thai, and a lot of other stuff. So technically in the series, which is something I like to do, he's known as being the best striker in the series. And like I said before, that's something I'm really into. I'm all about fast attacks, striking, boxing, Muay Thai, stuff like that. So can't get much better than that. One day maybe I'll go to Thailand and I'll train just like my favorite Kengen character. But leave a comment, like if you like this video, comment what you think or who your favorite fighter is if you watch the show, or any show, what your favorite fighter, martial artist that you like. Just let me know, comment below. And again, this is Vex Scarlet with the Scarlet Den. I'll see you.